on, beautiful people.
Welcome back to our channel. So today is December 1st. It's Sunday. Right now, Cristian literally got off work, and me and Camila were just being lazy at home. It's cold and it's Sunday, so we're having a lazy Sunday. But right now we're on our way to the store. We're gonna grab some snacks and go back home and just watch movies. But Camila, di hola. She's being a fatty. She's eating a concha. Oh yeah, so I also wanted to talk. I know someone mentioned like to talk about my breastfeeding story or whatever. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I don't want anyone to like bash people down below in the comments, or for people to feel like I'm bashing them or whatever. I'm just talking about my experience with Camila when I was breastfeeding her, and what I think is best for my daughter, and it's just my choice. So even before I had Camila, I would always think like, whenever I have a baby, like I want to breastfeed them, because I've seen my sister breastfeed, like my aunts breastfeed, and people always say like that's the best you can do for your baby. And then the doctors also recommend that you breastfeed. So I always say like, you know, when I have a kid, like I want to breastfeed. And Cristian also was like, I want you to breastfeed Camila. Like he always supported my decision, and he also wanted me to breastfeed Camila. So I had that in my head. So when I had Camila, don't get this wrong. Like I know a lot of people say, oh, breastfeeding is not easy, and some say, oh, breastfeeding is easy. Again, everybody has their own experiences. No one's experience is ever the same. So I'm just talking about my experience with Camila. So when I had Camila, like she latched on right away, but like she was not grabbing my nipple right. So she was just grabbing like kind of like half my nipple. So she was like irritating my nipple. That's one thing. And then like, you know, when you first start breastfeeding, you don't get a lot of milk right away, because the first part of your milk is the thickest part. It's called the colostrum. That's what's called it? Colostrum or colostrum, whatever. So that part has to get out first, and they say that's the best you can do for your child. Like it's that part. Wait for you. So when you first start breastfeeding, you probably are producing a lot of milk, but the first that comes out is called colostrum. So when that comes out, it's thick, so not like a lot comes out at the same time. So usually you feel like it's a little bit, or like if you're not producing enough milk. But again, it's the colostrum. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I always have difficulty pronouncing it, so don't judge me. So at first I felt like that. So then the nurse was like, oh no honey, like it's normal, like you're not gonna right away, you know, be like pumping up, giving a lot of milk. So then the second day, she noticed Camila was not latching correctly, and she was like, oh, you know, I don't think she's latching correctly. So whatever, they were trying to teach me like how to latch her on. And then she brought me a pump so that all the colostrum would come out, and so then I could start producing more milk. So But when she brought me the pump, because of course, you know, like I said, it's thick. The first milk that comes out is thick. So it was thick. So she put it the highest that she can go on the pump, like to get it out. And dude, that thing irritated my nipples. Like, it was the worst pain ever. And then so the next day my nipples were super irritated. They were cracked. So then when Camila was latching, like, it hurt, right? But my mindset was, I'm gonna breastfeed her. Like, that was my goal. So it was painful. Like, after she put the pump on me, my nipples were literally irritated for like a whole month. Like, cracked, irritated. Like, it was so painful. Camila also, like, when I would latch her and she would be eating, like, I would want to cry. I would be like, oh man, like, it would hurt. It hurted so bad when she would eat because my nipples were cracked. But I determined myself, like, I'm gonna do it. Like, that was my goal. So even if it hurt when she was doing it, like, it was painful, but I could handle it. And what I wanted for my daughter was more than the pain. So that's why I continued to breastfeed her, even though I was in pain for a while. But there's ointments, there's like little nipple covers that you can use that's going to help you breastfeed. And since I was determined to breastfeed, like, I bought the ointment and I would put it on after I would finish breastfeeding her at night, anytime I could. And that ointment actually really helps, like, your nipples, so they could get better. And then after like 3 weeks, or I don't know if it was like 3 weeks or a month, that my nipples, like, when she would eat, no, probably like 3 weeks, they were cracked. They got better, they healed, and Camila got the hang of, you know, latching on. And so then I continued to breastfeed, and then I would pump. But when I would pump, like, I would start off slow and then I would go high. And then your nipples, when you first start breastfeeding, obviously they're going through a change. Like, they're not used to a little human sucking on them, so obviously they might get a little irritated. It's like anything, you know. But your body gets used to it. And that's exactly what happened with Camila when I was breastfeeding her. And then after was like nothing. Like, she would latch, I didn't feel anything, no pain, nothing. And honestly, like, it was the best feeling ever for me. Like, I feel like that was the moment that we would bond. Like, it was literally just me and her. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not hard. Like, it's not, like, if you really want that for your baby, I really recommend breastfeeding. It's just an experience that it's unexplainable, to be honest. I know a lot of people say, I don't have time for that, but if you really want to, and that's what you really want for your baby, it's like, I really recommend it. And then, babe, how did you feel when I was breastfeeding Camila? Would you get irritated, or like, because I would be with her?
No.
Or how would you feel?
Good.
Cristian was actually always supportive. He would always help me, like, and remind me, like, oh babe, don't forget to pump. Because when I started going back to work, I would leave my milk for her, even though she never wanted the bottle. Like, when my aunt used to watch her at the time, and my aunt would try to give her the bottle, and like, Camila would just play with it in her mouth. So I would go, luckily I work nearby, so during my lunch I would go and breastfeed her so she would eat. Yeah, but I breastfed Camila for a year and a half, I want to say, a little over a year and a half. I breastfed her. And when I was like, when I said I have to stop breastfeeding her was because the wedding was coming up, and I didn't want like the wedding day for her to be crying because, you know, she wanted to be breastfed. But they recommend at least 6 months of breastfeeding, because those 6 months are the most important because they're developing. But the doctors recommend like you can breastfeed until whenever you want, but like after I think 2 years, like the milk doesn't really do anything. It just turns into a habit. But Camila, when I was trying to get her off the breast, she actually did good, huh, babe?
Yeah.
When we were getting her off the boob, she actually did really good. The first time we left her was for our anniversary, Valentine's Day, and she actually slept over my mother-in-law's house, and she didn't cry. Like, my mother-in-law gave her the bottle, she was fine. And then she only cried for like 3 nights. The first night was the worst. The second night was bad too, but not worse than the first. Then the third night, she did wake up a little here and there, but she got the point that there was gonna be like no boob. And then the fourth night, I think she was just kind of like because she would go to sleep like on the boob. So I feel like she just couldn't find a way of like putting herself to sleep. So I started trying to figure out how I could put her to sleep without the boob, and I didn't want to go from like the boob to a bottle, because then I was gonna struggle taking away the bottle. So I'm like, no, like if I'm gonna take away the boob, I'm gonna take away the boob, but I'm not gonna like give her a bottle, because I didn't want to then have to struggle taking away the bottle. So what I did is I bought like cups, like little cups, baby cups, and that's what I would use to give her water. And even till now, like, I use those cups for her, and I literally put water in there all the time. And sometimes it's rare when she asks for milk, because again, I didn't want to get her used to milk, because then I was gonna struggle getting her off the milk. So like at night, I was just trying to figure out things I could do. So the way she goes to sleep is like we just scratch her back. Ever since I took off the breast, how babe, we just scratch her back and she'll go to sleep. And yeah, I mean, once you want to quit giving your kid boobs, I just recommend just don't give in. Like, just if you're gonna take it away, just take it away. Let them cry. You're only gonna struggle 1 day or 3 days the most, but if you keep giving in, you're gonna keep on struggling over and over and over and over again. So that's just my experience with breastfeeding. I wanted to breastfeed my baby, and I said I'm gonna do it no matter what, no matter how hard, no matter anything, and I did. And I honestly feel so proud, because it's not easy, especially when you're trying to get things done and they get hungry or whatever and they want to eat. But I wouldn't want it any other way for my baby, and for our next baby I'm gonna do the same thing. So yeah, that's just my experience. So now we are going to another store, and we're gonna get some snacks, because we're just gonna be lazy, huh babe? As you can tell, Cristian's like tired and lazy. He was like, babe, I just want to be lazy. Okay, alright, me too. We had a long weekend, a crazy weekend. On Thursday, Thanksgiving. And then on Friday, we had another Thanksgiving. And then yesterday, Saturday, we were doing a video shoot for Cristian. If you guys haven't seen it, look at our, well, it's done already, but if you guys want to see the behind the scene, make sure you guys check out our last video. So we'll see you guys at the store. So we're at the store now, getting some snacks. I'm about to get these chips. They're so good. If you guys haven't tried them, you guys should try them. They're the bomb. Camila, ¿qué vas a agarrar?
Ponlo para atrás ese, nomás uno.
¿Qué vas a agarrar, bebé? A ver. Candy? No. Nomás unos chips. Unos chips agarra.
No.
Sí.
No.
Sí. No. Ey, a ver, ¿qué vas a agarrar? Enséñame. Enséñame. She literally just grabs and grabs.
Papi. Papi.
Babe, what are you getting?
Here.
Water and chips. Oh yeah, we need some water. Good job. Alright guys, so I think Cristian chose Holiday Rush on Netflix. Is that the movie we're watching, babe?
No.
Oh. ¿Cuál movie quieres? Mira, Camila.
Baby.
No, Bass Baby, no.
Sí.
No, not movie. We're gonna watch a movie. Holiday movie, babe?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Which one? You don't wanna watch? You didn't. That one didn't look cool to you?
Papi.
Holiday Rush.
Papi. Papi.
Dale. Mande.
Papi was toy.
¿Cuál?
Baby.
No, no va a ser muy.
No, no Bass Baby. Vamos a mirar una movie.
No.
Sí, movie.
Baby.
No, una movie.
No, baby.
Una movie, Camila. A ver,
Bye,
Camila,
baby.
canta. Hola, bebé.
Hola, bebé.
¿Cómo has estado?
Hiya.
So we're currently trying to find a movie to watch because apparently my husband apparently doesn't know what he wants to watch. But apparently we're going on the holiday movies. Apparently. Let us know. That's what it's called, right, babe? Let us know. The movie?
I think so.
So we'll let you guys know how it is when it's done.
Mommy.